court. I got court this morning. I'm just doing that little court thing I was telling you about. That paper. Yeah, they ain't coming up here.
Welcome all. 36th District Court, State of Michigan is now in session with the Honorable Judge Shannon A. Holmes presiding. During this Zoom court proceeding, there will be no gum chewing, eating, drinking, smoking, or talking.
Or combing your hair.
You are required to be dressed appropriately for court. No do-rags, hats, pajamas, low-cut tops, spaghetti string tops, or underclothes should be visible. If you have any additional electronic devices, please silence them or turn them off now. Thank you all in advance for your compliance, and good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
All right, good to see you all. I'm going to ask you to keep your phone muted until it's time for your hearing. So if I mute you, please don't unmute yourself. All right. Mr. Wyatt, you okay this morning? You have me over here laughing. It's too early. You over there combing your hair. He's talking, but he's muted. That's all right. I'm gonna leave him muted. All right. Let's do it. Let's place appearances on the record, starting with the attorneys.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge. For the record,
Officer, did you switch to
this
camera?
is the drug court defense attorney, P23863. Judge, I'd like to make a motion, a continuing motion, that my appearance be for all my clients this morning. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Reed, and your motion is granted. Attorney Fikens.
Thank you, and good morning, Your Honor. Robert Fikens, P31894, Drug Treatment Veterans Treatment Court Defense Counsel. I too would make a similar motion.
All right, thank you, and good morning, Mr. Fikens. Your motion is granted. Let's start with the case managers. Ms. Ross, I see you're first on the list this morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ebony Robbs, Veterans and Drug Treatment Court Case Manager.
All right, good morning, Ms. Robbs. And then I see Ms. Cleveland.
Good morning, Your Honor. Toshi Cleveland, Case Manager for Specialty Court.
All right, good morning, Ms. Cleveland. Mr. Griffin.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Griffin, Drug Court Case Manager on behalf of the Probation Department.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Griffin and Mr. Yancey.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Kenneth Yancey, Case Manager on behalf of Sobriety Court, Your Honor.
All right, good morning again, Mr. Yancey. All right, and I see Mr. Mentor Scott is on this morning. And when he joins us, I'll have him place his appearance on the record. I also see that Mr. The intake, Mr. Twitty has joined us this morning. And so Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, who would like to go into the breakout room with the intake just to make the best use of our time this morning?
I will, Judge.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Twitty. Glad you came back to join us.
Oh, good morning, Judge.
All right. I am going to place you or invite you to a breakout room. It is going to be breakout room number 1. You're going with Attorney Reed. And please make sure you accept the invitation to breakout room number 1.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Robbs, is there another intake that's on this morning?
Yes, Your Honor. It's Mr. Ralph Warhurst. He's actually with Mr. Scott. I don't know what's going on with their screen, but he's actually on with him at Emmanuel House at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Why don't you reach out to Mr. Scott, let him know. I think everybody else is good. So Mr. Fikens, if you want to go into the breakout room with Mr. Is it Warhurst, you said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Fikens, would you like to go in the breakout room with the other intake? All right. Very good. So I'm asking Mentor Scott to, I assume that was his picture, to unmute. And I am going to place Mr. Warhurst and Attorney Fikens in breakout room number 2.
That would be fine, Your Honor. Again, good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Good Good morning. I don't see you, the real you. I think I see you in the background, you.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here in the flesh. Yeah, I'm in the flesh.
All right. All right. I'm sending you all to breakout room number 2. Accept that invitation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. All right, officer, I'm ready to call the first case.
First, Your Honor, will be Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins, I don't see Mr. Collins' picture up, so we're going to keep moving.
Next will be Mr. McGraw.
Mr. McGraw, good morning to you. Can you unmute for me, please?
Good morning.
All right, how are you this morning, Mr. McGraw?
Doing fine.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
I'm doing fine.
Very good, wonderful. I have the following for you, Mr. McGraw. I have case number 1906014101. State your name for the record.
Patrick McGraw.
All right, and Mr. McGraw, and this is for all of our virtual courtroom participants. If you do not wish to have your case heard in the virtual courtroom, please make sure you dial into the courtroom at this time. Good morning, Miss Wilson. Miss Wilson is going to, I failed to acknowledge you, I'm sorry. Miss Wilson is going to place the courtroom number into the chat, call the courtroom, and schedule to come in person for your hearing on today. If not, I'm going to take that as a yes. You agree to be in the virtual courtroom. Is that okay, Mr. McGraw?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. How are you doing with everything, Mr. McGraw?
Everything is fine.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I said everything is fine.
Okay, you sound really muffled and far, far away. We have the volume all the way up.
All the way as far as it's gonna go.
Okay. All right, well, let's give it a try. Tell me what you've been doing since the last time I've seen you.
Working, trying to get my CDL license, trying to find a place that I can afford to go to.
To get your CDL license?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been talking with Ms. Cleveland about that at all?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful, because I think she mentioned, she did mention it yesterday in our staffing. And so, Ms. Cleveland, if we can point him in any direction, that would be great. Might want to get Mr. Reed or Mr. Ficus to chime in as well, but he's trying to find a place to go to get that CDL. All right. All right. And so, Mr. McGraw, what have you been doing to stay on track with your recovery and working the program?
Basically, just started to try to. Me and my wife started start back working out since we didn't put all this COVID weight on, and just doing more stuff with the family.
All right. Are you going to your classes?
Every one of them.
All right. What have you learned in those classes?
Basically, when you set your goals that you really can achieve and get, and try to maintain, and get a shot, because just keep saying I'm gonna do something, you never get it done.
Okay, right. You have to set goals and get up and move, right? If I mute you, please do not unmute yourself. I have you muted so that I don't get background interference. You will be asked to unmute when it's time for your hearing. Thank you so much. All right. And so you have to set goals and get up and get moving. Because if you keep saying if you're going to get it done, you won't get it done, right?
At all.
Not at all. All right. Are you still seeing Ms. Gail at NCADD?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How's that working out?
Everything is fine, because she been trying to point me some directions, about getting in touch with people about CDLs, at some reasonable places.
Okay. All right. And she's still working with you on recovery and maintaining your sobriety?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. Very good. Is there anything that you need us to do or anything you need from us, Mr. McGraw, to help you stay on track with working your program?
Everything is fine. whenever I need somebody to talk to, I always get, if I call, she always return a text. So everything is cool for right now and tomorrow and the next day.
All right. All right. One day at a time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Very good. Ms. Cleveland, is there anything additional you'd like me to know about Mr. McGraw?
Your Honor, he's doing well. He is compliant with his screens at JAMS. He is compliant with his therapy with his counselor. I believe she sent me a more recent update to his progress report, so I'm going to review that. We had our face-to-face. I've gone over some of the requirements that he has to complete in phase 2, which he is going to begin working on. And he does speak we speak more at length about his progress in the program. So he is compliant with all of his requirements thus far.
I'm sorry, you faded out, Miss Cleveland.
He is compliant with all of his requirements in the program thus far. Can you hear me at all? I'm so sorry, Your Honor.
You're going in and out.
I just think it's.
I believe you said that he's compliant with all of the requirements thus far in the program. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Mr. McGraw, do you have any questions for the court this morning?
No, ma'am.
And nothing you need us to help you with, right?
Not right now. No, ma'am.
All right, very good. Miss Cleveland, when do you have Mr. McGraw returning?
He's in phase 2, so he would be returning for a face-to-face on April 20th, 2021 at 9:30 a.m.
All right, very good. Did you get that, Mr. McGraw?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. Good to see you. I will see you, or you'll see talk with Miss Cleveland, I'm certain, before I see you again. Keep up the great work you're doing. Very proud of you, Mr. McGraw.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Have a good day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I still don't see Mr. Collins. Let's go on to the next name.
Next, Your Honor, will be Mr. Lamar.
Mr. Lamar, where are you? There you are. Good morning, Mr. Lamar. Unmute for me and tell me your full name.
Michael Lamar. How you doing, Your Honor?
I am doing well, Mr. Lamar. How are you doing this morning?
I'm better.
All right. You doing better?
Yes.
What does that mean? You're doing better?
Oh, well, after that last, meeting, I had to wrap my head around that issue with the last breakout room with Mr. Reed. So I'm thinking positive on that situation. Everything's still working out pretty good for me. Let me see. I just got a pay increase, a 10% pay increase because my metrics was up, and that's been really a effect from the program because my number's been up since then at work. I normally be in the 2s. I'm in the 4s now. So
look at you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I never got a 10% raise since I've been here. So that was a year. So that was pretty good.
Now, are we getting a 10% raise here at 36th District Court? You know I got to ask, right?
Yeah.
You know I got to ask. Mr. Lamar, so you believe that your work performance is tied to your sobriety?
Oh, yes. No question. No question about that at all. Like I said, everything, like my number's never been, since I've been in this program, yeah, my number has been consistently because it's at the 5-star metric, I'm at a 4-star metric. Yeah, it's definitely respect from this program. I mean, thanks to you and Mr. Griffin and the rest of the team, y'all put in some good work here, so I really appreciate it.
And you're putting in the heavy work, Mr. Lamar. That's a wonderful thing. I hope that 10% pay increase feels so good to you that you will stay sober and walk in recovery for the rest of your life. You deserve it.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Absolutely. All right. Have you been, wait, I didn't put a case number on the record. Let me do that real quick. I have Z806-7021 for Michael Lamar. And so, Mr. Lamar, what else have you been doing? Have you been going to your outpatient treatment?
Yes, well, we actually I finished with my outpatient treatment.
Okay.
I think my last meeting was I think before our last meeting around that time. So he said if I need them, call him whenever, you know, I'm keeping in touch with him if I need him. I'm still going to my AA groups. I'm actually, I have a table now for the newer guys that's there, so I'm working with them. And
very good.
Started, you know, so it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I didn't think I would do that, but yeah, I'm doing it. So
you are. Tell me something you've learned since the last time I've seen you, Mr. Lamar.
Something that I have learned,
about yourself, about life, about recovery, about the program.
Oh well, yeah, definitely. Like I said, this is a test to myself, you know, especially with this new thing going on. Just there's no use to stressing up about it. You got to think positive, and you got to go through it. You know what I'm saying? You got to you got to do it. So you got to handle your business accordingly. So you know that's pretty much it. So just take care of my business.
There you go. You can't stress out about things you can't change right now, right?
Correct. Yes.
And I don't want you to get discouraged in that situation because I believe it's going to work out. But just stay the course, do the things that you're supposed to do, and understand everything happens for a reason, right?
Right, yes. I understand.
All right. Don't lose focus of your progress.
Oh no,
you've been doing some great work.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, especially like I said, it's thanks to you guys. Like this program has been wonderful for me so far. And you don't mind putting in the work once you start seeing progress. So it's easy.
Yes, once you put in the work, absolutely. Very good. Mr. Griffin, what else do you want me to know about Mr. Lamar? We did staff his case on yesterday.
Yeah, Your Honor, Mr. Lamar is doing fine. Me and him talk all the time. Just continue to encourage him. You know, I like his positive attitude, even though facing adversity, he's in the right state of mind to be facing this right now. So he's been testing up on him for testing, attending his meetings. So, you know, I told him if anything he needs from us, with the new situation that we can help him out with, just reach out. He did give us my number for any feedback, how he's doing in our program and things like that. So I just encourage him to stay positive and, you know, and things will work out. But other than that, he's doing good, Your Honor.
All right. And did you get the certificate from Henry Ford Behavioral Center as to his completion?
No, I haven't received the certificate, so I'll reach out today to make sure I get that.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Mr. Lamar, any questions for the team?
Yeah, y'all can help me get my license. I want to practice. That's where all the money at.
You want to do what?
I want to practice. I want my lawyer license so I can practice. Y'all making all the money.
Oh, I can recommend a good law school. That's a good starting point. How about that? Yeah, come on, do it. Wow. Do it. You can. You can. Never too late. Never ever too late. Right. All right, Mr. Lamar.
I'm good.
All right. Mr. Griffin, when do you have Mr. Lamar coming back?
Your Honor, that'll be April the 20th at 9:30 a.m. and that will be for a face-to-face.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Mr. Lamar. Continue to do well. Again, things are going to work out with that other matter. Just do your part, okay?
Right. Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. But thanks. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Good to see you. Have a good weekend. A good weekend. All right. Thank you.
Goodbye. Bye.
All right. I still don't see Mr. Collins. Let's keep moving.
Next, Your Honor, will be Ms. Harris.
Ms. Harris, can you unmute for me? Good morning, Ms. Harris.
Morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm good. Mind my mess. We're doing some cleaning at work.
But you're doing good? All right, let me place your case number on the record. 2005-609-601. State your name for the record, Ms. Harris.
Cynthia Harris.
All right, Ms. Harris, what's going on with you?
Nothing wrong. Everything's good. I had a beautiful birthday. It was awesome.
A beautiful sober birthday, didn't you?
Yes, it was the first time, honestly, that I had a sober birthday. And I think I had more fun this year. Just being present, and we had a suite down at MGM. and we had different groups of people come in, and it just felt really good. I didn't even gamble. I just enjoyed the moment. So,
Okay, were y'all COVID safe? Because you know that's where my mind stopped at. Big groups of people, different groups of people. Were y'all COVID safe?
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We had to be.
Okay.
Everywhere we went, they made us wear masks everywhere we went. So yeah, we're good.
All right. I'm glad you had a good birthday, and I'm glad it was a sober birthday. And I hope that you have many, 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 many more sober birthdays to come. How about that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. How is it going with your outpatient treatment? You're still at Sacred Heart?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How's that going?
Going very well. I've actually started to come down on my dose, so that's a good thing. That's a good feeling. And I took that initiative myself. I just feel like since we're already doing really well with the cocaine, let's work on, coming off of everything. I'm tired of being on everything. I just don't want to be on nothing.
Yes.
Vitamins. So yeah.
And they did provide you some information about your MAT treatment so you could get it to Mr. Griffin?
Yep, they did. I sent that to him.
You got it, Mr. Griffin? Oh, wonderful, wonderful. All right, very good, very good. All right, well, look at you taking the initiative with respect to your own care, as you should.
Yeah, because I've noticed now too, and they don't, you don't think about this stuff when you're using, okay? But the residual effects, the health issues, now that I'm getting it out of my system, my body, my nose is healing. So I'm dealing with a lot of that, just trying to get that gooky stuff out. So that's been a little bit of a challenge for me health-wise. But other than that, everything's good. Yeah.
All right. Very good. What about your meetings? How are they going? Still doing the blue book?
Yes, ma'am. I'm almost done. It was an eye opener. No, that book was an eye opener. I like how they went from the addiction perspective and recovery perspective. So yeah, it's a really good book. I recommend that book to anybody. So.
All right. Very good. Tell us one thing that you've learned since the last time I've seen you.
I have to learn how to be more in the moment, and focus more on myself. I think I mentioned this before, but I think now that I'm further in my sobriety, I can focus really on it more. We talk a good game in the beginning, but when you actually had to deal with the issues up front, so I need to just be more present and stop worrying so much. And so I'm really working on that. That was a trigger.
All right, continue to work on that. Yeah, because worry can cause us to do all kind of things, right?
Oh yeah, stress can kill. That was a trigger.
There you go.
My self-medicating would come from me worrying so much. And so I've been forced to deal with a lot of things, and everything's good. My daughter is more present with me now. We have our inside things that mom and daughters do. So it's good. It's really good.
Very good. I'm proud of you, Miss Harris. You rolled up your sleeves and came in here and said you were going to do the work, and you've done just that. And so I want to just encourage you to keep going. Keep going. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. All right. Mr. Griffin, we staffed this case on yesterday. Is there anything additional that you want me to know about Ms. Harris, other than we did get the MAT information?
No, Your Honor, she's doing very well. She's been testing, attending her treatments. You can see her progress. Because I'm just very proud of her, encourage her to continue to, to keep doing what she's doing. She knows one day at a time. So we talk about that a lot, just to keep moving forward. And Your Honor, she was promoted to phase 2 a couple of weeks ago. And I'd like to reduce her testing from 3 times a week to 2 times a week. And if any mishaps or anything, we can go back to 3 times a week, Your Honor.
All right. Any objection from any of the team members?
No, Your Honor.
No objections, Judge.
Ms. Harris, are you ready to have your testing reduced?
Yes, ma'am. They've got enough urine out of me now. They could just.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's try it. Let's do it. Okay. Let's do it. We're going to reduce your test to 2 times per week, random.
Yes,
okay? And I'm certain that you can do it. I'm certain you can. Continue to call every day. And if they tell you to test, go and test. And if there's an issue, you let Mr. Griffin know, but don't miss your test.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All right, Mr. Griffin, if nothing else,
Oh,
when
I
do
got
you
it.
have Ms. Harris coming back?
April the 20th.
Wait a minute, I think she's saying something.
Sorry. I actually received a call that I didn't even tell Mr. Griffin this, so this is good news though. I received a call yesterday from the inpatient Sacred Heart, and they want me to begin training to become a peer coach. So
Yes, wonderful, wonderful, do it. I believe that you will truly be an asset. Definitely.
Thank you. So,
definitely.
Surprise, no. Yeah.
It didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, very good. All right, Mr. Griffin, when do you have Miss Harris coming back?
Your Honor, that'll be April the 20th at 9:30 a.m. and that'll be for a face-to-face.
All right, very good. And I'm sorry, I was writing another note. You said April, give it to me one more time.
April the 20th at 9:30 a.m. for a face-to-face, Your Honor.
All right, at 9:30, got it. Very good. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikes, you're back with us. Anything you'd like to add on Miss Harris?
Just congratulations, Ms. Harris. Good report. You always have a pleasant and positive attitude. Keep up the good work and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Reed.
Yes, and Your Honor, if I might add, Ms. Harris, I just want to echo what Mr. Reed said, because you do have a great attitude. You approach this in the right way, and you're doing the right things. You should be proud of yourself, because we are proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fikens.
All right. If no questions for the team, Ms. Harris, it's good to see you. Keep up the great work. Have a great rest of the week and weekend, and be safe. And we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Happy Easter, everybody.
Same to you. Thank you. All right.
See you later.
All right. I still don't see Mr. Collins. Where is Mr. Collins?
Tell him he need to go on to a breakout. He need to go in the breakout room, right?
Does he? Mr.
Yes,
Collins?
Yes, Your Honor, for a positive urinalysis.
Okay. I don't see Mr. Collins. He's in and out. Miss Robs, get him on the phone. Tell him he either needs to be in or he'll have to come physically into the courthouse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Tell him to get that connection together because he needs it together today. All right. So I'm going to save him for probably much later. All right. Officer, who's up next?
Next, Your Honor, will be Mr. Wyatt.
Mr. Wyatt, unmute for me. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Wyatt?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. Doing great.
You are doing great. I'm sorry?
I said, I'm doing great. No worries.
No worries. I saw you came on here this morning getting your hair together.
Oh, yeah, because, Mr. Reed inspired me. So since for the last month and a half, I've been wearing my hair like his.
Mr. Reed?
I don't have any comment.
No comment. I don't believe it. Mr. Reed is speechless. Mr. Reed, are you sure you don't have a comment?
No, I have no comment, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Wyatt, let me put a case number on the record. Let me pull myself together. Here we go. I have the following from Michael Wyatt, Z8056181. Mr. Wyatt, state your full name for the record.
Michael Wyatt.
All right, Mr. Wyatt, you're doing good.
Yeah, that's the whole intention, to continue to do good.
Yes, sir. Tell me what's working for you. Tell me what's keeping you on track.
I'm just, knowing that right now, knowing that I'm almost at the finish line, everything like that, all the stuff I done been through, it just keeps me going. You know what I'm saying? like just keep maintaining, just like I'm just like a freaking truck. Just keep them wheels rolling, and that's what I'm doing.
Keep the wheels rolling. All right, Mr. Wyatt. Very good. Are you still utilizing your services at the VA?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. Do you find them to be beneficial to you?
Oh, of course. They've always been beneficial to me, so I'm good.
All right. And do you think you'll continue to utilize those services even when you're finished with our program?
Of course, yeah, I'm always going to utilize the services because even though I may be through, freaking the war's not over, so I'm just going to continue to use you for I can continue to maintain, so I won't think about nothing. Just keep on going forward.
Yes, yes. How's that new apartment coming along?
Oh, it's coming along. It's coming along. Oh, I also have something for Mr. Scott to see. Hold on.
Mr. Scott, can you see?
Yes,
I can. Is that Mr. Wyatt's picture?
Did he see that?
Let me say it again, Mr. Wyatt. I think you're trying to outdo me. Yeah, you're trying to outdo me really bad, Mr. Wyatt. I have to come see you.
How nice. Oh my goodness, how nice, Mr. Wyatt. What a wonderful reminder of the man that you are, right?
Right.
Yes, very good. How's that job going?
Oh, it's going. I've had no problems going to work every day with no problems, so everything is good.
Very good, very good. All right. Mentor Scott, what do you want to tell us about Mr. Wyatt? We staffed his case yesterday, and Mr. Griffin, I believe, reported on behalf of Ms. Robbs that he's doing very well. Mr. Scott?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Well, I think Mr. Wyatt, of and in himself today, has just epitomized his progress through this court, Your Honor. Whenever we can engage and find humor, as he did, engaging and referring to the coif locks of my sage fraternal brother, Mr. Jesse Reed, Mr. Wyatt has. He looks good. He's finding humor. He's even going back into his past and taking pride of, as you indicated, Your Honor, the man that he was, by going deep into his very proud, displayful Marine picture that I have to come see him about later on. But Mr. Wyatt is doing well, and I'm proud of Mr. Wyatt.
All right, very good. I am very proud of Mr. Wyatt too. And thank you, Mr. Scott, for the work that you've been doing, mentoring Mr. Wyatt, making sure that he has what he needs. I appreciate you. All right. It'll be Miss Robbs. Miss Robbs. Anything you want to add on Mr. Wyatt? Mr. Wyatt is winding down. I don't know if you heard how he threw that in real smooth since I'm coming to the end of this thing. And so he is, indeed he is. And it's been a long journey, but it's been a good journey. And so Miss Robbs, what do you want to tell us about Mr. Wyatt?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Wyatt has been doing a wonderful job. He remains compliant. He is currently in phase 3. He does have a few things, Your Honor, that he needs to complete. And I wanted to have a discussion with you about him completing it off the record if possible.
Okay.
He does need to complete, he has a balance, Your Honor, of $50. He said that he's going to pay on Friday. He has completed the 100 AA meetings. He's completed his 40 hours of community service. He's complying with testing and ATS. He's completed the sobriety video. He's completed inpatient at Emmanuel House as of July 24th, 2021. But he does need to complete the alcohol highway safety and the arms course, which I would like to discuss with you, Your Honor.
Yes, we talked a little bit about that, and so let's have some further discussions about arms.
Yes, Your Honor. But outside of that, Your Honor, he's completely compliant. No issues to report at this time.
All right, very good. So he is getting ready to leave us soon, right, Ms. Robbs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good, very good. All right, Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, anything you'd like to add as to Mr. Wyatt?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Wyatt, congratulations, good report, keep up the good work. I heard somebody say one time that imitation is the highest form of flattery, but you need to put on another 20 years before you could imitate me. Also,
I knew you had it. Let's just all pause and laugh. No, Mr. Reed, give us our moment. I knew you had a comeback. I knew you did.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Scott, keep up the good work. Congratulations. I have to plug my fraternity brother, Omega Psi Phi. Mr. Scott, thank you.
Mr. Fikens, I don't know what else you would say.
I can't say much. Mr. Wyatt, it's the first time I've ever heard anybody keep Mr. Reed quiet, so that was fun to hear.
Yes, I completed my goal then.
Congratulations to you, sir. We appreciate you and keep up the great work. And a shout out to Mr. Scott as well, who's been there for you, and we appreciate him too. So thank you both. Thank you, Anna.
All right. Mr. Wyatt, do you have any questions for us, for any member of the team at this time?
No, Your Honor, I'm just glad y'all was able to help me through this, these last 2 years, because there wasn't, I don't know where I'd be at, because actually I saw my life, y'all made me see my life was in a total downfall at the beginning, but I'm glad y'all saw me and decided to pick me up and help me, get through to where I'm at right now. Because without y'all, I don't think I would be.
Look, Mr. Wyatt, we owe that to you. You served this country. You put on that uniform for all of us, and that was the least we could do. But I want to remind you that the real work, you did the real work. You made up your mind that I need this. My life is spiraling out of control, and I need to do something different. And you did it. It was not easy, but you did it. And I didn't expect anything less of you for having, especially since you have worn that uniform. And so I appreciate you. I appreciate your service. We are coming to the end. We're not there yet, but we've got a couple of more weeks before we get to the end of things. A couple of things Ms. Robs needs you to do. So let's get them done, okay? And then we'll talk about your departure date, okay?
Okay, I'm good with that.
All right, I need everybody in the courtroom to join me in thanking Mr. Wyatt for serving our country in the armed forces. Thank you, Mr. Wyatt. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you always, always.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Robs, when do you have Mr. Wyatt coming back?
Your Honor, I have April 27th, 2021. And in the midst of that, Your Honor, hopefully I'll have conversation with, I will have conversation with Mr. Wyatt in regards to recommendations for completion of those two things so that we can get him prepared, Your Honor, for graduation if possible.
All right, and I'd like to really see him get at least one of the two completed before his next date.
Yes,
okay? And then let's make sure we talk about the other matter, the completion of the one item that we need to talk about. Okay, Ms. Robs?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. We'll see you on the 27th of April, Mr. Wyatt, at 8:30 a.m. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Take care. Continue to do well.
You do. All right. Thank you. I have a great day.
All right. You too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Your Honor, may I?
All right. Yes.
We have a veteran coming into Veterans Treatment Court who has two unresolved cases. And so I'd ask permission at this time to leave the courtroom and to find a prosecutor so I can get some kind of deal on the two cases that the gentleman has.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Fikens. Absolutely. I still don't see Mr. Collins where okay, his name just popped up. I don't see him where I can put him in a breakout room. And so, Ms. Robs, get with them. I know you can only do so much, so thank you. All right, officer, let's keep moving.
Next, Your Honor, will be Mr. Grunwald.
Mr. Grunwald, can you please unmute for me?
Hello, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name for the record.
Greg Grunwald.
All right, Mr. Grunwald, I have the following matter for you. I have case number Z806-6981. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. The last time I saw you or we talked, I was really concerned. Tell me what's been going on these last 2 weeks with you.
I've just been continuing my AA meetings. I've been keeping busy just with little hobbies here and there. I've been helping my friends since the weather's been better. I've been helping my friends in the shop, just getting their toys ready for the season. And I wanted to clear up I don't know if I misspoke last time or maybe you misheard me, with all due respect, but there was never a point that I was not attending AA meetings. It's what I meant to say last time was when the DUI happened, I was going to AA meetings for about 3 to 4 weeks in person, and then everything shut down, so I stopped. And then maybe a month or so after that, I started finding online meetings with like what is it called? Like home group, I believe it is. I'm still doing. And then and then since the first time seeing you, I can't remember the exact date of that was. But the first time seeing you, I was still doing online meetings. I just wasn't doing. I was waiting. I thought I was supposed to get some kind of paperwork to go that was going to tell me where to go exactly. So that's what I meant by that. I thought I didn't receive any kind of instruction from the courts to continue doing meetings, but I was still doing them on my own. But now, since our last meeting, I think it was on was it the 18th or the 15th? I'm not sure exactly.
It was the 18th. It was the 18th.
I've been doing them consistently every day online on the home group.
All right. Yes. My question was whether or not you had been doing meetings, and you said no. And so, of course, that made my antenna go up, because I could hear from your voice and see from your expressions that you were having some struggles. And I just felt that meetings might be, I mean, it's not going to resolve everything, but it may have provided an environment for you to get some encouragement throughout the week, to share some of the struggles that you may be having with people who may be able to give you some guidance to let you know that it's going to get better. So that's why I was concerned about the meetings.
Right.
Okay, I see you flipping through a notebook. Are you taking notes when you go to your meetings? This is something I started as well, but all the way back in February of 2020 when this started. Yeah. All right, very good.
I've got all kinds of pages. Yeah.
Good. Can you tell me something or share with the courtroom? We've got people that are new coming into the program today. Mr. Grunwald, something that you learned in your meetings?
Well, I've learned I'm a lot more patient now that I've coming into my mid to later 30s now. I've learned that I'm a lot more patient than I was when I was younger. I can some of the stories. Not everybody's a good storyteller. To put it lightly, but I'm able to, at least to sit through a lot of personal experiences that aren't my own and just listen and hear people out.
Okay, so you're learning some patience.
Correct.
And you're realizing that as you grow older, patience, it gets a little bit better.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Very good. Very good. Have you been going to your outpatient treatment, Mr. Grunwald?
That's been a little bit of a problem to get started. I was supposed to start tomorrow, but sometime last week I spoke with a Mr. Callaghan at the guidance center down here in Southgate, and we did about a 3-hour phone call for an intake, but he called me back the next day saying that they declined my application for outpatient because I haven't drank in over a year. So now I'm trying to get into outpatient again through the mental health aspect of it, and I'm still waiting to do an intake phone call to see if I can do it that way.
Okay. All right. Very good. And so Mr. Griffin, and I failed to look at my notes, Mr. Griffin did update us on that issue yesterday in staff. And I think that he also indicated to you, don't really wait for them to call you.
Yeah.
It's probably better for you, not probably, it is better for you to continue to reach out to them.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
Yep, I did
Very
talk to
good.
Mr. Grunon, Your Honor, and he said they was having a problem with having somebody to do the intake. They didn't have any specialists available, so I told them to get back on first thing this morning. I did talk to Mr. Callaghan yesterday, and through the mental health part, if he go that route, he said he would be accepted into the program, and he would be working directly with Mr. Grunwald. So I just want Mr. Grunwald just to get back on the phone after he get off this call to make contact to get that intake taken care of, so we can get him in the treatment aspect of the program, Your Honor.
All right. Very good. You got that, Mr. Grunwald?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Is there anything you need us to help you with? Anything you're struggling with?
No, I've just been trying to get my license back. Actually, I don't know if do you guys have any copy of my license that was like a paper copy you could send me or anything? I've been trying to get that. I don't have anything to say I am who I say I am, except for my birth certificate. I've been trying to get a copy of my social security card as well. I don't have anything.
Okay, we don't have a copy of your driver's license. What happened to your license? Did they take it?
Yes, ma'am.
They did. Mr. Fikens, you look like you want to say something.
Well, only, yeah, you have to, unfortunately, you're going to have to start the process over again, Mr. Grunwald. It's a good thing you have a birth certificate. That's a good start. You need some identification. You can do that through the Secretary of State to get at least an identification card, if nothing else. Your license suspended. That's what I recommend you do, is go through the Secretary of State to get that back, because we don't maintain copies of those driver's license at all. They don't let us have them.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I also
right.
my SOS just to see where he's at with his license. So I go down to Ms. Drew later and get a SOS just to see, so I can send some over to Mr. Fikens and Mr. Reed, to see where he's at with his license, what he needs to do. And also, Your Honor, I had some job fair information. I emailed that to Mr. Grunwald this morning. So to take a look at that, and I send it to the rest of the team to send out to their clients, that anybody that's looking for a job. There's a job fair that's about to take place in the next week or so.
Wonderful. All right, Mr. Grunwald. So you've got some information, a couple of things you need to do to get your outpatient treatment together. Continue to be diligent to get that done. And then the clerk is going to send Mr. Reed or Mr. Fikens your SOS, so they can look at it and tell you where you are with respect to your license. And Mr. Griffin sent you some job fair information. I think that's wonderful. How do you feel about that?
Good, positive, hopeful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, I do need you to do me a huge favor. Until you know that you have a valid license, no driving, okay?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right, because that would create just other problems, and we don't need any. So just let's hold off, okay?
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Grunwald?
No, nothing now that I can think of, no.
All right. Mr. Reed, Mr. Fikens, anything else for Mr. Grunwald?
Yes, Judge, thank you. Mr. Grunwald, good report. You're doing your drug testing and you're doing your meetings. Keep up the good work. I know you have a lot on your plate. Don't get overwhelmed. And as you said, be patient. It's going to work out for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I might add, Mr. Grunewald, hang in there. You can do this one step at a time. And patience is the key, as Mr. Reed said. And be proud of yourself, sir, because we're proud of the way you're doing this and the way you're handling this. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Judge.
Sir.
All right, very good. Mr. Griffin, was there anything else you wanted to add as to Mr. Grunwald?
No, Your Honor, like I said, we just continue. We're just trying to get this outpatient treatment started. So that's the most important thing at this point. But other than that, he's been in compliance and me and him have been talking, so.
All right, wonderful. All right, Mr. Grunwald, if no other questions, let's get a return to court date. Mr. Griffin?
April the 13th, Your Honor, at 8:30 a.m.
All right, very good. You got that, Mr. Grunwald?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. All right, good to see you. Great report today. Keep up the good work. Take advantage of those things that Mr. Griffin is making available to you. And then Mr. Griffin will get back to you and communicate about your license once the attorneys take a look at it, okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, ma'am. You too.
All right, thank you. Okay, Officer, I see Mr. Nasser on, and I believe Mr. Nasser is completing today. Is that correct, Mr. Griffin? Is that your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes. Let's do Mr. You keep fading in and out. If I don't see you, out of sight, out of mind, okay? I don't keep up with who's not on here. Let's do it. I have the following. Case number 180770SD for Muhammad Nasser. Mr. Nasser, please state your full name.
My name is Muhammad Nasser.
Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Your Honor.
Aren't you glad you're going to be finished with this right here?
Yeah.
I can hear it in your voice. He already laughed like, this is the last time I'm dealing with this.
I'm very
yes,
happy.
sir. Yes, sir. I'm so proud of you. I'm going to hear from Mr. Griffin first, and then I'll come back to you. Mr. Griffin, you may present Mr. Nasser.
Okay, Your Honor, this is Muhammad Nasser. Mr. Nasser signed this contract with Drug Treatment Court on April the 1st of 2019. He had a 24-month contract. He has completed outpatient substance abuse counseling. He has attended over 100 12-step meetings. He completed 40 hours of community service. He attended the ARMS program. He watched the sobriety video. He completed alcohol highway safety level 2. He submitted to 7 urinalysis tests, and he paid all fines and costs in full. He also has the interlock device installed in his car. We haven't had any problems with the interlock device. So I'm recommending that Mr. Nasser be considered for a candidate for graduation today, Your Honor, from Drug Treatment Court.
All right, wonderful, Mr. Reed. Mr. Fikens.
Yes, Judge, thank you. I'm going to be making a motion in this case that we close the improvement, but before I make the motion, I'd like to make a couple of remarks, if I may. Congratulations, Mr. Nasser. A job well done. We understand the program is not easy. But you did everything we asked you to do: drug testing, counseling, NAA meetings, community service, ARMS, and you paid money. I don't remember having any problems with you. I think you always had a positive attitude. I hope that you learned something from the program. I hope that we helped you. I know we did help you get a restricted license. And be safe with that restricted license. We are proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. Keep up the good work. And Judge, at this time, I would make a motion that Mr. Nasser's 36th District Court drug treatment case be closed with improvement. It's drinking and driving. It can't be dismissed, but it can be closed with improvement. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fikens.
Thank you. Mr. Nasser, you've done a great job while you've been with us. You should be proud of yourself for the good work that you've done. You've proven to yourself that you've made decisions that will positively affect the rest of your life. You've gotten your driver's license back. That's always good to have people back in society doing the right things, doing the legal things. And it just keeps getting more positive for you. And I hope it does keep getting more positive for you as time goes on. So keep up the great work, sir. It was good getting to know you. Please stop by anytime. We are proud of you. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, very good. So Mr. Nasser, what did you learn throughout this entire process?
Oh, I learned a lot of stuff. I take me a days to talk about everything I learned, but the main thing is I learned how to be a positive person. I learned that alcohol will never make me happy, or any kind of drugs. It will only destroy my life. So I learned a lot of stuff, and I quit, and I'm happy. A lot of positive stuff come to my life. So I'm very happy and I'm thankful to you and to Mr. Griffin and the rest of the staff. You guys helped me all the way, and now my life is a lot of better. So thanks to you and Mr. Griffin.
All right, you've got the new baby, and you have the baby on the way, right?
Yes.
And you understand they need their father. They're making good decisions, right?
Right, absolutely.
All right, you have that interlock device in your car with the restricted license?
Yes.
You're doing everything that you're supposed to do with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
it's
right.
helping me going back from work to just I drive from work to home. That's all I need the car for.
All right, very good. The Secretary of State will continue to monitor that, and they'll let you know when it's time for it to be removed, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, very good, very good. Very proud of you, Mr. Nasser. You came into the program. At first, your whole focus was getting a driver's license, getting a driver's license, getting a driver's license. And we had to shift that focus and help you to focus on, okay, get the help that you need, get the resources that are available, use the resources that are available so that when you leave us with some type of license, that you won't ever return again. And you will never be at risk again for having your license suspended, revoked, denied, or anything to that effect. And so you eventually shift your focus and stop asking me. I don't know if Mr. Griffin threatened you out in the hall and said, you better not ask the judge about no license again. I don't know. But you stopped asking me and you started working the program. You've always had a good attitude, though. I hope that you've learned from this experience. I hope that you'll take the things that you've learned with you. Know that just because you finished drug treatment court on today doesn't mean that we throw you away. We will still be here if you ever need guidance. You don't have to get a ticket. You don't have to go to jail. You can just walk in the courtroom, zoom into the courtroom, call the courtroom, call Mr. Griffin. We are still available to help you. And so thank you for your service. Thank you for just doing the work, I know it's not easy work. And so, Mr. Reed, you've made your motion to close his case with improvement. I am granting that motion. I need everybody in the courtroom to join me in celebrating Mr. Nasser on his successful completion of drug treatment court. Congratulations, Mr. Nasser. Congratulations. Yes, we are very proud of you. All right, you are going to get your closing paperwork in the mail. And so you want to hold on to it. If you don't receive it, make sure you reach out to Mr. Griffin, but you'll get your certificate and everything in the mail. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, if nothing else, take care and do well.
You too, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, I need to do Mr. Hicks' case and then I'll go to our intake. I still don't see Mr. Collins. I'm not sure what's going on with him, Ms. Ross. I see you shaking your head, but I'm going to Mr. Hicks. So I'm going to Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, unmute for me. Uh-oh, I'm gonna send you the ask. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go. You got it, Mr. Hicks. Go get him. Tell him to come help you. All right. While he's doing that, I know we have Mr. Twitty is an intake. What about Mr. Warhurst? He's an intake. I'll do them next. And then let me just, well, here they come. They're about to take him off mute. Thank you. All right. Mr. Hicks, good morning to you.
How you doing this morning? All right.
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad.
Not bad. State your name for the record.
Johnny Hicks.
All right, Mr. Hicks. Let me place all of your cases on the record. I have case number U452-62918, U471-95118, U99-437-713, case number 155-360301, case number 155-362-781, and case number 155-363-64, counts 1, 2, and 3. Mr. Hicks, we had an opportunity to staff your case yesterday, and I heard that there's been a lot of back and forth and back, but this is what I want to tell you. I am very proud of you that you stood up for yourself, but that you did it in a way that did not compromise your sobriety and the work that you've done so far in recovery. I want to applaud you for that. I do. I'm glad that you didn't just get frustrated and walk away. I'm glad that you didn't get frustrated and go backwards, because those are all the things that frustration can do. Make us go backwards, make us walk away, make us throw up our hands, give up, and all those things. Mr. Hicks, thank you for not doing that, because you have done so much work to get to this point, and it's only going to get better. You're only going to be greater. And so thank you for not walking away.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate you.
It's just a little misunderstanding. That's all.
Well, you kept in touch with Miss Cleveland, and Miss Cleveland kept in touch with me blow by blow. Let me tell you, I'm not going to even have you tell the whole story, because I've heard it. She gave it to me. Yes, sir. And so, but my focus, I'm choosing to focus in on the positive, is that you continue to do what was best for you for treatment's sake, for recovery's sake. And I'm glad about that, Mr. Hicks. And so Miss Cleveland is working on some things with you in the background, and we're going to get you squared away, because the ultimate goal for you, Mr. Hicks, is for you to have independent living. But I want you to have independent living that is sustainable. I don't want us to put you in a place that you can't afford, that you can't keep up, that you can't, all of those things, and then you get back in this vicious cycle. So give Miss Cleveland an opportunity. I asked her to reach out to Mr. Bowser through Detroit Health and Human Services. I think there was also another lead that she had with respect NSO. You're still on the NSO list. And I believe there may be one other housing lead that we can refer you to. It's going to happen, okay?
Yes.
I have no intentions of having you stay in any type of facility for the rest of your life. I want you to live independently. And now that you're clean and sober and you're on a path of recovery, I believe that you are. I believe your thought process has changed, your habits have changed, and those are all indicative that you're on a pathway of recovery. I want you to have that independent living. I just want to do it the right way. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Does that sound good to you?
Yes, I understand what you're trying to do.
All right. Are they treating you well in transition at Elmhurst?
Yeah, everybody know me.
Everybody know you. Everybody know Mr. Hicks. Do they know that you're a wonderful guy? Do they know that?
I hope so.
I hope they do. Tell them if they don't know, they better ask me. Because you're a good guy. You're a wonderful person. And so are you still working on you, Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
All right. Tell me what you're doing.
Still going to classes and praying, doing more praying, going to church on Sunday. I went my first time going back to church. I went Sunday. So trying to get.
You went on Sunday. Very good.
Yeah. And then
how'd that feel?
Yeah, I'm going to my higher power more. So, Yeah.
Good. Very good. All right. You're eating well and all of those good things?
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
It's just all right.
It's all right. Yeah.
I think he's the first person in our program that said the food is just all right. Everybody else say it's too much, it's a lot, I'm getting fat and everything else.
Yeah, moving around a little more.
You moving around a little more?
Yeah, exercising. I can go out now, so I'm getting a little exercise and stuff.
Very good, Mr. Hicks. Do you have any questions for us or anything you need us to help you with?
Yes, I was telling Ms. Cleveland that I had went through a program to get my license back, and I completed the program. And it was over at the Capuchin Soup Kitchen with Mr. Hill, and they couldn't find me because I've been homeless all this time. So
Okay, Miss Cleveland, can we find out some information about that?
Yes, Your Honor, and I also wanted to add too, can you hear me okay? First of all, I want to make sure that you can hear me better.
You're very faint, but go ahead.
Okay, so I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Hicks yesterday evening, and it was just about some concerns that he brought up after our staffing, which I would like to talk to you on as maybe a sidebar or later on this afternoon.
Okay.
And he did bring up that he would like us to continue to investigate his license, which I will do that. But we did a preliminary run of him, and there's some things that are going on that I'm sure I'm going to have to talk to the attorneys about Mr. Hicks' license. But I am going to work on it. I just want him to, understand that it's not a immediacy type of thing. But I think the reason why he's inquiring about it may be an immediacy type of thing that needs to be addressed. So I will talk to you about that in a sidebar. He's, nothing bad. I just, it's just something that's going to require further discussion. The other thing is too that the matter that you were referring to earlier, I also had an opportunity to speak to the other party that that brought about that event that one day, and they are very apologetic, and they want to offer the opportunity for Mr. Hicks to have something of what I would consider a showing of the property, just like he's familiar with or was used to with NSO. They want to show him some of the things that he might have missed based on what was going on previously. So they want to afford him that opportunity, and they will pick him up and take him back to his current facility just to get an opportunity for them to present themselves in a way that Mr. Hicks would, would understand differently than what was going on the first time. So I think, I believe you might know which property I'm talking about with Pastor Williams.
Yes, Lake Ridge, you're fading in and out on my end.
I really apologize. I don't know what's going on. I'm at the highest level for this. I think
there you go.
Is that better?
It was.
Okay, so that's the one thing that I'm going to coordinate behind the scenes with Mr. Hicks. I want him to have every opportunity afforded to him and all the support that he can possibly get, and I want to make sure that that presents wherever he is living, and those things will not be denied to him. I want him to know that we're working on his behalf.
All right. And so, Miss Cleveland, make sure that you circle back to me sometime today, because I'm missing some pieces.
Yes.
And so I'll need you to fill them in for me. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Hicks, did you hear what Miss Cleveland said?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
All right. Are you okay with going back to look at the property?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What you want to say, Mr. Hicks?
Yes, I would. I want to know about my mother's in Arizona, and I want to know about going to visit her. I hadn't seen her, so she's 94, so she got to see me. So
yes, and she needs to see you clean and sober. Right. And so, Miss Cleveland, work on what it takes. He's in my courtroom with a hat on. Work on what it would take what Mr. Hicks needs to do in order to see his mom. Okay. It's not a detailed process. It's not bad at all. It's just some information you have to get to Miss Cleveland, and information that you need to know as to your testing while you're there. Okay. All right. Very good. You have any other questions, Mr. Hicks?
I can't think of nothing right now, but I'll let you know later.
All right. If you think of something, you know where to find me.
Oh, yeah.
And you know how to get to me through Miss Cleveland.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Mr. Reed, Mr. Ficus, anything you want to say to Mr. Hicks? Have you already sent out an SOS for Mr. Hicks? Okay, wonderful. You're on it. All right. Very good. Mr. Reed, Mr. Ficus?
Yes, Judge. Thank you. Mr. Hicks, good report. It's always good to you. You have such a positive attitude. You're working the program. We're proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. I know you're in a safe location. And it's always good to be in a place where everyone knows your name.
Right.
And I'm sure they all know you, Mr. Hicks.
Yes,
Be safe.
yes. Thank
Keep up the good
you.
work.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I might add, Mr. Hicks, you are doing a great job. You're showing responsibility. You're showing how to get things done in the right way. You should be proud of yourself, sir, because we are proud of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right, very good. If no questions from Mr. Hicks, Miss Cleveland, give me a return to court date for Mr. Hicks and we'll talk later today.
Yes, Your Honor. It's April 13th, 2021, at 8:30 a.m.
All right, very good. Did you get that, Mr. Hicks?
Yes, I did.
All right, very good. So good to see you. I want you to enjoy the rest of your week. Be in touch with Miss Cleveland, and you're gonna get to that independent living, okay?
Thank you so much.
And you're gonna get to go see your mom, okay?
Nice. All right. Thank you.
All right.
You have a nice day. Y'all, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Take care.
All right.
All right. Let's do the 2 intakes if we could.
Yes, Judge, my intake, Mr. Warhurst, does not have convictions on the 2 cases he has in 36th District Court. I just wanted the court to know this before we do the intake that we have to do, please.
All right. And who did Mr. Warhurst's case come from, Mr. Fikens? What judge?
Was it a community referral?
It was a community referral. Okay, so that changes the landscape. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Ms. Drew, if you could print out the ROAs for any cases that Mr. Warhurst may have. While she does that, let's get Mr. Twitty processed as well.
Judge, I have received from the prosecutor a plea bargain for Mr. Warhurst. I just wanted the court to know that as well.
All right. Well, let me get when Ms. Drew gives those to me, we'll do give me 1 second. Now they put Mr. Twitty on my docket, but he doesn't have a case number.
Mr. Warhurst? Yep. It's a transfer. Twitty's a transfer.
Right, but he should still have a number on the docket.
I don't think Mr.
That's
Yancey-
okay. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Somebody just has to read it into the record for me. That's okay. All right, it'll be on next time. And then, all right. So let's start with, I want to do the pleas for Mr. Warhurst very quickly, if I could. Is that another one?
Yeah.
It's 3 cases? Did you know there was a civil infraction as well, Mr.? Oh, but it's an old civil infraction, so he's gonna have to pay that way.
Correct, Judge. And we talked about that. I talked about it with Mr. Warhurst, and he understands that because it's over a year old. The prosecutor cannot do anything about that. But did provide us an offer on the 2 misdemeanors.
All right, very good. Give me 1 second. All right, I have the following matters for Mr. Warhurst. I have case number U44888318 and case number 173906711. Mr. Warhurst, please state your name for the record.
Ralph Warhurst.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fikens, how are we proceeding?
Thank you, Your Honor. As to those 2 matters,
Mr. Fikens, hold on. I think I read the wrong one into the record. Let me make sure I have the 2 matters that are misdemeanors. I have U44888318 and U44746318. The remaining matter is a civil infraction.
yes, that's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
I have discussed this with Mr. Warhurst. The offer from the people is that if he pleads guilty to the entering without owner's written permission, they would recommend the court reduce that to disorderly conduct, and they would also dismiss the possession of a syringe case upon successful completion, or it can be dismissed today, but it can be reinstated if he does not successfully complete Veterans Treatment Court.
All right, do you understand that, Mr. Warhurst?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you wish to take advantage of the people's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. You can put your hand down. Mr. Ficus, you may proceed.
Your Honor. Sir, you understand that in each of these matters, you have a right to a trial, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you wish to waive that right and enter a guilty plea as to one of the matters today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
Has anyone forced you or promised you anything to get you to plead guilty today?
No, sir.
Your Honor, I'm satisfied as to his constitutional waiver. May I proceed with the factual basis?
Yes, you may.
Sir, I direct your attention back to September 27th of 2018. At that time, were you in the city of Detroit?
Yes, sir.
And did you enter a dwelling or building without the owner's written permission?
Yes, sir.
I'm satisfied, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I am satisfied as well. I will accept your plea of guilty. I will amend the charge to disorderly conduct, and I'm dismissing the remaining matter, the possession of a hypodermic syringe. I will dismiss that matter. I'll dismiss it without prejudice.
Yes.
And I'll also indicate that he must successfully complete Veterans Treatment Court.
Thank you, Your Honor. That was part of the recommendation from the prosecutor that the matters, both matters, get reinstated in full if he does not complete Veterans Treatment Court.
All right, thank you. It is done. It is a part of his contract. I broke these up. I'm gonna give them to you real quick. I need to get case number. 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, let's do it. We are ready now to present for purposes of entry into our specialty court. I have the following matter for Mr. Darren Twitty. I have, somebody has to read that case number for me.
Yes, Your Honor, that case number is 2021-000-277.
And what's the charge, Mr. Yancey?
Your Honor, that charge is operating while intoxicated, Your Honor.
And this is a second offense?
It is, Your Honor.
All right, very good, thank you. Mr. Twitty, if you could unmute your phone and tell me your name, please.
Darren Twitty.
All right, Mr. Twitty, and you are in our virtual courtroom. And do you agree to have your hearing today in our virtual courtroom?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Yancey, you're presenting Mr. Twitty on this morning?
I am, Your Honor.
You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, before the court this morning, as we stated, is Darren Twitty, Your Honor. He is a 31-year-old single father of 4 children, and he is a resident of the city of Detroit. Your Honor, this case, the 52nd District Court in Troy has requested that the case be transferred to our court for acceptance. Your Honor, the defendant has earned a GED as far as his education. He is unemployed at this time, but he does report that he does have some employment waiting for him once his court hearings conclude. Your Honor, he did take an assessment. He did take a needs plus assessment with us that resulted high risk, high needs at this time. Your Honor, his drug of choice is exclusively alcohol. We did ask Mr. Twitty to screen with us as recently as March 26th, which was the past Friday. The screen was negative for all substances.
Good.
He is currently on the alcohol tether, and Your Honor, he reports that he has full family support and what he's trying to do right now, which includes his mother, who's currently in Florida, his siblings, brothers and sisters, and his girlfriend.
All right. Mr. Yancey, you also reported in staffing, you did present this case in staffing yesterday that Mr. Twitty has a pending matter in Southfield, Michigan. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor, and he does have a court appearance tomorrow, March 31st, Your Honor.
All right, and he's also on the tether still, and that's with Troy, with 52nd District Court?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, and is that an alcohol tether or?
That is an alcohol tether.
All right.
He has had no violations. I did check. He's had no violations on that alcohol tether, Your Honor.
And what's the status of his driver's license at this time? It shouldn't be valid right now.
It is not, Your Honor.
All right, very good. So, Mr. Twitty, you understand that means no driving, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. Who went in the breakout room with Mr. Twitty?
I did,
All right,
Judge.
what do you want to tell me about your client?
Yes, Judge. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to Mr. Twitty in the breakout room. He was respectful, courteous, and polite. We did talk about drug treatment court goals and purposes. We talked about drug testing, minimum of 2 times a week random. We talked about counseling, NAAA meetings. I advised him not to get overwhelmed. We talked about the different levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. I advised him that level 1, what we're looking at mainly is the drug testing, the counseling, the NAAA meetings, the 12-step meetings, also his meeting with the court, which is once every 2 weeks. We also talked about the back of the contract, Judge. We talked about the fact that the court has the ability to amend the contract, to alter the contract. We also talked about the fact that he will get a copy of the contract and any changes he would be made aware of. Judge, he was respectful, he was polite. He said he wanted to participate in drug treatment court. We talked about the fact that he has a lot on his plate at this time with the pending case in Oakland County and the fact that he is transferred from Troy. He said he wants to participate in drug treatment court. We talked about the benefits. The case cannot be dismissed, but it can be closed with improvement. Also, the possibility of a restricted license at some point. Judge, he has appeared to me to be a nice young man. I'm recommending him for participation in drug treatment court, and he is qualified under Michigan law to participate in drug treatment court. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank
Judge,
you, Mr. Reed.
one other thing,
Yes.
Judge. He did ask me about the tether, the removal of the tether. I indicated to him that if it was placed on by Troy, there may be some problems with this court taking it off if it was placed on by Troy. But once this court gets jurisdiction, if we were to confer with Troy and they had no objections, it might be removed. But I tried to answer his question as best as possible, Judge, but it was placed on by Troy, so they might have to have some input in its removal. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Twitty. I recommend him for participation in drug treatment court, Judge. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. All right, Mr. Twitty, do you want to participate in drug treatment court?
Yes.
Okay, you hesitated a little bit. What was that about?
I'm gonna do it. I mean, honestly, I just came home from prison, so I really didn't feel like going right back to jail. But once I once they presented this to me, like, oh, it's an 18-month program or a 2-year program, and I gotta pay $400 a month for this tether. I gotta pay $500 for the driver's intervention program. I gotta pay random different amounts of money every time I go drive. I gotta do AA 5 times a week, outpatient treatment. To me, like I told the judge, I mean, they saying this is my second DUI, but it's my first DUI. The one that I got back in 2000, like I want to say 9 or 10 or 11, that case was dismissed. I'm not sure why I was still showing up as a DUI, but like I was telling my probation officer in Troy, like, I don't have a drinking problem. I came home from prison and had a few drinks. My tolerance was low. I got pulled over. I wasn't reckless driving or endangering nobody. I simply was just a pullover. They smell alcohol and but it's like, I don't know. I was just telling my parole officer the other day because I had misreporting. And then she was like, what's going on? You never, misreporting to me. And I'm like, it's just, I got all this other stuff going on. Like, what's going on? And I'm like, at this point, I feel like I should have just took the time because it's like, I just came home a few months ago. I got to do certain stuff for my kids. This program is like hindering me because I got a AA 5 times a week, outpatient, the tether, like they wanted to go to some type of pool.
Mr. Twitty, you haven't done one day in this program and you have already concluded that it is hindering you. You have not done one day of working with us and you've already concluded that it's hindering you. You have not done one day to see how we make sure that when people are transferred to us, that they're not working multiple probations, that we coordinate, that we make sure that they are able to get what they need from the program, and we set no one up for failure. And you have already concluded that you can't do it. You haven't been with us one day, and you have already determined, I don't have a problem. When your risk assessment came back as high risk, that was the answers based on the answers that you gave us. And so, your thinking process is a little skewed today. I understand that you just came back from prison. I understand that this may seem like it's a lot, but here's the wonderful thing about being in problem-solving court. We try our best not to create problems. We try to help people resolve problems. And so if you are willing to give the opportunity to, first of all, show up, do your best, do your part, and then you're willing to give us an opportunity to work with you and work for you, I have no doubt in my mind that you can work this program in lieu of just going to jail, especially when you have a case pending in Southfield, especially when you are 31 years old and you are the father of 4 children. I guarantee you, if you just show up at the table and give us an opportunity to work with you, that you can work this program. We've had people come to us in far worse shape than you're in. We've had people come to us with pending cases out of state, and we have worked with them and worked for them. But it starts with you. And your attitude and your thought process has to be, I'm here, I'm going to make the best of it, I'm going to do the work that I'm required to do, and I'm going to get everything that I should get out of this program so that when I leave this program, I'm not returning to anybody's program, no other program, nobody's program. I'll have the tools I need to live successfully and to live in recovery without drinking and making a bad decision. Because anytime drinking impairs your ability to make a good decision, like I shouldn't drive, you have a problem, sir. You have a problem. And so that's what I need to know from you today. Are you even willing to come to the table and work? And if not, I understand it. We'll just have to send you back to Troy and let them deal with you accordingly. But I'm telling you what I know based on what I've seen and based on the quality of case managers that we have and the quality of attorneys that we have and the quality of our drug treatment court program. I'm telling you, if you show up at the table and do your part, We're going to work with you. And the only way you will fail is if you choose to fail. That's my guarantee. So you tell me what you want to do, Mr. Twitty.
I've been going along with the drug court program. They put me in it. They started me in Troy because they said 36 districts was taking too long. So I've already been doing the drug court program with Troy. I've been complying with everything they've been telling me to do, to see the judge once.
I need you to answer my question though. Are you wanting to come to 30? First of all, I don't know why they said it was taking too long, because let me say this about 36th District Court. While all other courts were shut down during the pandemic, this drug treatment court never shut its doors. We continued to work. Yes, we did. We haven't had a COVID stimulus work break like some other folks yet. And we will never have one because of the nature of the work that we do. So make sure you notice that struck a little nerve for me when you talk to your probation officer in Troy. Make sure you tell them, the judge said, get your facts straight. We weren't taking too long. They were taking too long because we don't know you're coming until you knock on our door. And we just open it and receive you graciously. I need you to answer my question. My question is whether or not you are willing to show up at the table, come to 36th District Court and work this program. That's what I need to know from you, Mr. Twitty.
Yes.
I don't know if you convincing me today, Mr. Twitty.
I'm gonna show up.
Are you sure that's what you want to do?
Yes.
Mr. Yancey, you want to say something?
I've had contact.
Speak louder in the mic so he make sure he can hear everything you say.
I've had contact with Mr. Twitty about 3 times and a couple times email. This is the first time he's voiced some reservations about being in our program. You've already articulated the benefits of the program. And just briefly, we were contacted by Troy until March 16th. To even investigate any of this. And we're still in March and he's in front of us. So that's about as swift as it gets regarding a transfer case, Your Honor. But as far as our program, which, I biasly feel like it's probably the best in the United States, we definitely do everything we can for Mr. Twitty, but he's got to come with as much desire as we have. Otherwise, we won't be a good fit for him. He's got to put forth the effort, and we'll match it or double it. But he's got to come with something. So if he's not sure, then he should say so.
All right. Mr. Twitty, did you hear that?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the time to say you don't want to do it. You want to just stay with Troy. Now, one thing, Mr. Yancey, you will, this team overwhelms me just because they go above and beyond. And so, Mr. Yancey, I know that you are going to be willing to contact Troy and find out what they have him doing. Make sure they know what he's required to do as a part of our program, and confirm that we're not going to double dip and double charge and all of that.
For sure,
Absolutely, as you would normally do. In addition, why this team overwhelms me sometimes, Mentor Scott is on, one of our veteran mentors, and he's indicated that he will work with Mr. Twitty as well and mentor him during his time, as he's done for another non-veteran participant, to make sure that he is successful in this program. And so Mr. Twitty, at least 4 or 5 people have presented at the table saying, we want to work with Mr. Twitty if Mr. Twitty wants to work for himself first and then work with us. And so this is the time. If you don't want to do it, this is the time to say something. Not next week, not next month. It'll be too late.
Judge,
I didn't hear Mr. Twitty, and then I'll hear you, Mr. Reed. Mr. Twitty, what did you say?
I said, no, that's fine. I appreciate it. I'm do everything I have to do, as far as being in the drug court program. And I mean, I don't know why that I was a little, like he said, I never showed this type of, energy or whatever to the program. So I don't know. I'm gonna do it. I want to do it.
It's work. It's work, but it's doable work and it's good work. It's rewarding work. Mr. Reed, what did you want to say?
Judge, when I was listening to Mr. Twitty a few minutes ago, I heard him talking a lot about money. $400 here, $500 here, and when we met in the breakout room, he was concerned about the tether and the fact that he has to pay for this tether. And I would ask that if Mr. Yancey is going to talk to Troy District Court, if they have any objections, if this court is willing to remove the tether, would Troy District Court have any objections to that? Because if it's been on quite a while, I talked to Mr. Twitty. I don't think he's going anywhere. I might not have any objections to the tether coming off as long as Troy District Court has no objections to our removing it. So I would ask Mr. Yancey if he's going to contact Troy to talk to them to see if they have any objections to that tether coming off.
Yep. And I'm certain Mr. Yancey will do that, but Mr. Yancey, do you know how long he's been on the tether with Troy?
I believe it's been 30 days.
30 days, okay. I want to know why they placed him on that tether. You said it's an alcohol tether, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, I want to know why they placed him on it and what was the intent as far as the length of time. And then now that he's coming to a sobriety court, we need to talk about maybe if he needs to stay on it longer, switching him to our house arrest alcohol tether, which I'm certain is less than the $400 a month that he's paying now. Okay? So, but those are all things we need to get answers to, Mr. Twitty, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. What were you about to say?
No, I had they put me on the tether because that I missed like a little drug testing day or whatever or whatnot. That's why and then they violated my bond or whatever. I had to go through that whole process again.
Yeah, because you can't miss testing. And you won't be able to miss testing with me. Testing is mandatory.
No, I've been doing good ever since then. So.
Okay. All right. So let's give Mr. Yancey the opportunity to have a conversation, okay, with the probation person at the Troy court, okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Twitty?
No, that's about it. I mean, it really wasn't too big of it. But I don't mind keeping the tether on. Like I said, that's what they required, and I'm going to most definitely do that if that's what I have to do to, to get through this situation. But other than that, everything's fine. I'm ready to, be a part of the 36th District Drug Court if you guys are willing to accept me.
And we are willing to accept you, and we're going to do better than just accept you. We're going to work with you. We're going to work with you. And we're going to work on a number of areas, not just, drug treatment court. Mr. Reed says it all the time. It's not just about not drinking or not using substance. There are some other valuable lessons that you're going to learn and some valuable tools that you're going to acquire while you're with us that are going to help you with life in general. Okay?
Okay.
All right, very good. One of the things that I do want to do, Mr. Yancey, because his risk came back high risk, I am going to schedule him for court weekly for now because he came back high risk. I also need you to make sure that he gets scheduled for his clinical assessment to determine his level of treatment. And I need them to get that assessment hopefully no later than April 30th. They should get it before that, but I'm doing 30 days for now. And so let's get that clinical assessment by April 30th, and then I'm going to see him weekly to start with. Won't be always, but it'll be to start. All right. So we've got a couple of things we're gonna look into for you before you come back to see me next week. If there are no other questions, Mr. Twitty, I'm accepting you into our drug treatment court program. Mr. Reed has already indicated that he's talked with you about the contract. He's also shared with you how I'm able to amend it at any time. I will certainly give you notice. And he also talked to you about the benefit of being in drug treatment court. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. And Mr. Yancey, did you take the time to determine whether or not Mr. Twitty is a violent offender or if he is a substantial risk to the public?
I did take the time. He is neither a violent offender or a substantial risk to the public.
All right, very good. Then with that, I'm accepting you into drug treatment court. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Twitty. I do. You're going to do well if you want to. If you give it a try, you definitely will, okay?
Thank you.
All right, I want to see you next week. Can I see him next week, Tuesday?
Yes.
What's the date?
That's Can we send on the 8th?
What's the 8th?
Thursday.
A Thursday, is that better for, well, I was trying to do because Mentor Scott is going to reach out and.
Okay, Tuesday's great, Your Honor, April 6th.
Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, so let's return to court April 6th. 2021, officer, you doing your job. April 6th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m.
Excuse me, ma'am, Keisha's iPhone, you need to take your head scarf off.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm on the right one. I was just trying to.
Okay, anyways, you came late. All right. April 6th, Mr. Twitty, April 6th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. is when I will see you, okay? Mr. Yancey, make sure that he gets Mr. Scott's information.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
As far as my drug testing, do I continue the drug test at the place that they have me going to, or like that?
Mr. Yancey's gonna circle back to you today, hopefully after he's talked to them, so we can get you on one schedule, okay? But you'll know today where you need to test, because testing is mandatory, all right?
All right, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Twitty, I'll call you in the early PM, like around 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yancey. Thank you, Mr. Twitty. Thank you, Mr. Reed. Have a good day, Mr. Twitty.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Thank you all as well.
All right. All right, thank you. Let's go to Mr. Warhurst. We're ready. And so for intake purposes, I have Mr. Warhurst with case number U44888-318. All right, Mr. Warhurst, thank you for your patience. You and Mr. Scott, I appreciate you. We are ready to present you for our court. Miss Wilson, if you could put the telephone number to the courtroom in the chat, I'm gonna have the young lady that just joined us from the iPhone call the courtroom. I don't know if she can get the earlier chat, but have her call the courtroom so Miss Drew can determine if she's in the right place. All right, Mr. Warhurst, first of all, do you agree to have your hearing in our virtual courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, Ms. Robbs, I am ready.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Your Honor. Before the court, we have Mr. Ralph Anthony Warhurst. He is a community referral. He is currently an inpatient at Emmanuel House. His charge is disorderly conduct. He is a divorced 62-year-old Caucasian male. He is an Army veteran. His highest level of education is a GED, but he has completed some college courses. He's currently employed.
What branch of the military?
The Army.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He's currently employed at the Veterans Hospital. He works with their CWT work therapy program. He has 2 children, one 39-year-old son and a 31-year-old daughter, and which he reports is his support system. He does admit to having a substance abuse problem and reports his drug of choice as heroin, past usage of crack cocaine, as well as LSD, Valiums, and marijuana. He did participate in a screening on March 23rd of 2021, in which his results were positive for heroin, while at Volunteers of America, in which he was discharged and transferred into Emmanuel House for inpatient treatment. He's been there, Your Honor, since March 26, 2021. He does not have any prior felony convictions for violent offenses. He has not participated in Veterans Treatment Court in the past 10 years. He does need to complete the Needs Plus assessment. He has been linked with Mr. Kushiri, who will assist in the completion of this. And I am making the recommendation, Your Honor, for Mr. Warhurst to be accepted into the Veterans Treatment Court on today.
Okay, did we do a Needs Plus for him, Miss Robs?
Your Honor, he has been referred, he does need to complete the Needs Plus assessment. He's been linked with Mr. Kushiri, who will assist in the completion.
All right, so I need the risk and I need the clinical assessment as well as the risk assessment to be completed. And I need to make sure we have that information before April 30th. We probably can get it a lot earlier because he's currently in treatment, but I need it by April 30th, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. And so, yeah. So we don't know if his risk is high risk, right, Ms. Robs?
No, not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, I really need that Needs Plus to get finished sooner than later. I don't really want to, I really shouldn't be waiting until April 30th. I'm going to treat it as high risk to start, but because you indicated that on March 23rd, he did test positive for heroin and he was in a program at that time. And so I'm going to treat it as high risk. Once I get that assessment back, I can make the adjustment, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, very good. Anything else, Ms. Robs, that you want to tell me?
Oh, no, not at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Fikens, did you go in with Mr. Warhurst?
I did, Your Honor, and thank you for that opportunity. I also want to thank Mr. Scott for the referral and also his help in bringing Mr. Warhurst into this court.
Yes.
That's just wonderful when we have community coming to us and helping us. So I just wanted to say thanks to Mr. Scott for that. But Mr. Warhurst.
Thank you, Mr. Scott.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
He was certainly a respectful person, cooperative. When I talked to him, appeared honest in his own self-assessment. We went over the contract, Your Honor. We talked about the need to test and the need to show up at testing at the right day and at the right time. So this court could have a good understanding as to whether or not he's still having problems with substance abuse. We talked about treatment. He's been in a treatment program. We've talked about 12-step recovery programs. He did say he wanted the help. He needed the help. He recognizes he has a substance abuse problem, Judge. And we also talked about the need for the court's ability to amend this contract at any time. We talked about how this case could be dismissed, or these cases can be dismissed upon successful completion of Veterans Treatment Court. And we talked about the possibility that it could involve jail time if he does not successfully complete Veterans Treatment Court. I asked him if he wanted to do the program. He said he wanted to do the program, Judge. He said he could do the program. I think he can do the program, and I'd recommend him for acceptance into the Veterans Treatment Court program.
All right, wonderful. Mr. Scott, I know that he's a community referral. Is there anything you'd like to add prior to my hearing from Mr. Warhurst?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. And thank you, Mr. Fikens, for your endorsement of me. I appreciate that. Your Honor, yes, when Mr. Warhurst actually presented himself to me at the VA, I concur with Mr. Fikens. He was very composed. And he was able to articulate exactly what he was looking for. He indicated at no prompting or coercing on my behalf of where he was with his life, where he had come from, and where he was trying to go. So I immediately engaged him and asked him would he be willing to participate and consider Veterans Treatment Court of 36th District. I explained a little bit about him. I explained to him that the court is will ask a lot of you, and not be disillusioned at all that there's nothing to play with. So he said that he was willing. I believe that he is very capable of completing this program, Your Honor, and I'm looking forward to him having much success in this program.
All right, thank you, Mr. Scott. We certainly appreciate the community referral. We take our veterans wherever we can get them from because I believe we owe that to them. And so, Mr. Warhurst, I'll hear from you.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Warhurst, first of all, I'd like to thank you for putting on the uniform and for serving this country in the Army. We appreciate your service. You will hear us celebrate you every hearing because we are truly appreciative of the sacrifice that you've made for all of us. And so I need everybody to join me in thanking Mr. Warhurst. Yes, for his service. Thank you, Mr. Warhurst. Thank you,
Your Honor.
I am also happy that you have decided to join us in our Veterans Treatment Court. We feel like we owe that to you. You've served us, and now we get the opportunity to serve you. It is work, but it's all good work. I hope you heard some of the conversation that I had with Mr. Twitty about the wonderful team that we have assembled here. You'll have a great mentor. I'm going to I believe Mr. Scott will be your mentor, and certainly he's a great veterans mentor. And so we just have a wonderful team of people that will embrace you and make sure that you are able to succeed in the program. And even more than that, that you're able to succeed in life after the program. And so I'm excited about that opportunity. You will have Ms. Robs as your case manager, and she's going to do a dynamic job just keeping you connected. You'll have Mr. Kushiri also working with you through the VA. And so that will be certainly a great resource to you. And I'm looking forward to working with you. Do you want to do the program?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. I'm excited.
All right, can you tell me why? Tell me why you want to do this program.
Well, I need a change of life. The way I've been going hasn't been exactly the correct way. So I need guidance, and I'm looking for any way I can get it. You know, I need a small army behind me. I think I got it now.
Yes. All right, let's do it. We want to help you with that guidance. We certainly do. We'll guide, but we'll need you to follow our lead. We'll definitely need you to do that.
No problem.
All right. Wonderful. Did you have any questions for the team on this morning?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
All right. If you think of something, you will be connected to your case manager, who I'm certain will follow up with you at some point today, because Veterans Treatment Court starts on today. And so she'll make sure that you're set up so that you can hit the ground running, doing the things that you need to do to work on you. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to see you again next week because, again, Ms. Ross, I'm going to treat this as high risk based on that last test. And then I'll wait to get the assessment, the clinical assessment, as well as the Needs Plus assessment results, and I'll make adjustments from there. All right. And so, Mr. Fikens, you took the time to talk with Mr. Warhurst about the pros of doing the drug treatment court program, veterans treatment court program. I believe, yes, his case is a dismissible offense. Although he has one civil infraction, you should know, Mr. Fikens and Mr. Warhurst, that I did waive the penalty and I waived the interest. So he'll pay a significantly smaller amount than what he owes. And I've also indicated that I'll give him until July 1st to get it paid. If we need to adjust that date, we certainly will. But I put it out so that we can have some time to work on it, okay? How does that sound, Mr. Warhurst?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Sounds
all right.
Good. It's a good start already.
You're off to a great start already. And you already have a team that's in the trenches working for you. So we want you to join us in this work. And so you'll see me next week. And hopefully I'll have some assessment results back from at least one of the assessments, and we'll go from there. Do know that while you're with us, even though you'll be in court right now for one time per week, that we are accessible to you. You don't have to wait until the bottom falls out. You'll have your mentor, Mr. Scott. You'll have your case manager, Ms. Robs, and you'll have the rest of the team. You can always dial into the courtroom if you have some questions or what have you. We're here to serve you, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right. So welcome. So Ms. Robs, the date for his return should be next week, Tuesday. And we'll try to make sure Mr. Scott's mentees are scheduled so we can not have him running around. We'll make sure we have him on a Tuesday. And so that is April. I forgot the date that quickly. Is that the 4th?
The 6th, Your Honor.
The 6th. There we go. April 6th, 2021. And that'll be at 8:30 a.m. Anything else, Mr. Scott or Mr. Warhurst?
No, Your Honor.
No, I think we're good, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
All right,
Easter.
wonderful.
Have a wonderful Easter. Take care, everybody.
You all do the same. Thank you. Take care. Thank you for your patience this morning.
No problem.
All right. I need to do the remainder of the docket. Let's do it. I still don't have Mr. Collins. And Mr. Collins is like 1/3 of my docket.
Yes, Your Honor. I tried to call Mr. Collins. I've tried to get him on the phone. He says he's having complications. Then, Your Honor, he made reference to he will be here. He was going to drive, but we don't want him to drive. He's on 8 miles. Just a lot of excuses, Your Honor.
I'm not waiting around for Mr. Collins. What's going on with Mr. Collins this morning? He has a positive screen?
Yes, Your Honor. He has a positive screen for opiates. Mr. Collins reports that he went to the doctor. He got a shot, an injection, and they went too far and touched his muscle. And so as a result... You're right.
Go ahead, Ms. Robs. You're just repeating the story.
Yes,
Go ahead, Ms. Robs. Go ahead, Ms. Robs. You know, I was about to fire off. I had my cannon loaded. Ms. Robs, you are the messenger. Go ahead.
Thank you. You're right. Per Mr. Collins' report, Your Honor, he reports that they stuck him too deep into his muscle. They usually prescribe him Tylenol 500. He didn't pay attention. This time they prescribed him Tylenol 4. He thought that Tylenol 4 was lesser than Tylenol 500. He claims he has a script for the prescriptions, Your Honor. I did report that I needed those scripts. I did make sure to inform him that he could not take any kind of narcotics while in the program. Mr. Collins indicated that he did not know that, when I know that he did know that. So it's just a lot of issues going on at this time, Your Honor, that with Mr. Collins, and I'm not really sure this is unusual. Usually Mr. Collins is on point with completing things, following up with things, and it is definitely a concern at this time, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Collins is not here. Now, any other morning, Mr. Collins does not have an issue with getting on to do court. I mean, and if he does, it gets resolved. And now all of a sudden, he knows he can't drive without a license. This stuff about somebody gave him a shot and it went too deep, not buying it. So look, he's not here. I'm gonna call the rest of my docket, and then I need you to prepare a capias for Mr. Collins. Let me call the rest of my docket. Thank you, Ms. Robs. All right. I have Fernando Carruthers, Z8060471. Mr. Carruthers, was he a face-to-face today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and what's his return to court date?
The 27th of April, Your Honor.
All right, return to court April 27, 2021 at 8:30 a.m. for Mr. Carruthers. Thank you. I have Anthony Corbin, Z8060191. Mr. Corbin was a face-to-face today.
Yes, Your Honor. Returning court date, April the 13th at 8:30 a.m.
All right, very good. I have it. And then I have Darian Wallace, case numbers U73520611, case number 1704529901 for Mr. Wallace. He had a face-to-face, Ms. Robbs?
Yes, Your Honor. I have to, I'm scheduled to call him after court, but he's doing well, Your Honor. No issues with testing. He's completed the arms. He's still doing well, Your Honor. I was able to verify that information that you needed me to in regards to his medications. He's still in compliance with Sobriety House. No issues to report at this time, Your Honor.
All right, wonderful. So glad to hear that. When do you have Mr. Wallace coming back?
Your Honor, I have April 20th, 2021.
At 8:30?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that works. I also have Tyler Santour, case number 19M154500. Mr. Griffin?
Your Honor, the returning court date will be April the 27th, 2021 at 8:30 a.m.
All right, very good. Did you already? Go ahead.
I misspoke. Mr. Corbin should be April the 22nd. He's in phase 2, so it should be a 3-week date.
April 27th, you said?
Yep, April the 22nd. Yeah, Ms. Drew, I think I sent you the wrong date also. I apologize for that.
Okay, Ms. Drew, so let's change that date for Mr. Corbin.
Okay.
It should be April 22nd.
22nd, okay.
Right, and then did you say for Mr. Santour, it's the 22nd as well?
27th, Your Honor. He's in phase 3.
Oh, he's the 27th. Okay, got it. All right, very good. And then I'm going to call Mr. Collins' cases. Case number SP 771974, counts 2 and 3. Case number SP 989909, counts 1 and 3. Case number U 5823150. I have case number Z8070111. Case number 155646012. Case number 17842. Strike that. Case number 17421. 1451. Case number 18450. 5051. Case number 19409. 9611. And case number SP 9899092. I'm satisfied. It's now 10:30. Mr. Collins was supposed to be in the courtroom at 8:30, and he is not here. He's been in and out of the courtroom. Ms. Robbs, prepare capias with all of those case numbers on it, and let Mr. Collins know he needs to. He has to continue to test, and he needs to get in here on tomorrow. Otherwise, it's gonna be a horrible week for him. He's gonna have to lay real low because they're gonna pick him up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Especially with test results for opiates. All right. Circle back to me on that, Ms. Robbs. I have questions.
Yes, Your Honor.
About what's really going on with him. All right. Is there anything else for purposes